No, no, that's wrong. Dixie Diamonds 312. Monday, 14th of February 2000. Mets, 9:01 a.m. Dixie, 6:01 p.m. In the 4 weeks following the removal of Pilatray Android's tracking devices, along with the cleansing of electronic bugs from their homes, the Australian media coverage of Brent Carter Brentsey had gone from live television coverage of the police raid on his house, accompanied by front-page newspaper coverage, to no television coverage of BCB, while the newspapers began placing stories about him further back in Section A, then moving Brentsey's stories to Section D, to likewise dropping reports concerning BCB. That lack of coverage ended on Valentine's Day as 7 News Brisbane's 6 o'clock news lead story once again placed the vulture theology in the spotlight. Lizzie and Eddie snuggled together on their couch and watched as 7 Brisbane's news coverage began with a close-up of anchorman Howard Dillon sitting at the 7 News Brisbane desk greeting his audience with a beaming smile while stating, "Good evening, Brisbane, and happy Valentine's Day." The close-up panned out to reveal a smiling Hannah Mayles to his left as he added, "I'm joined tonight by our inimitable reporter Hannah Mayles with further news concerning American professor Brent Carter Brentsey and the latest developments in the attempted murder charges filed against U of Q's vulture of theology." "Hannah, what's the latest development?" he asked as the camera again panned out to reveal a picture of a Bombardier C-143A jet plane filling the 4-meter by 3-meter screen on the wall behind them. "Well, Howard," Hannah said, "as I'm sure our viewers recall, Dr. Brentsey's mega-rich parents, Maxima and Minima, joined their son Brent back on the 5th of January when they arrived via their private jet, the Moxie, and the 3 Brentseys have been together since." The screen behind Hannah changed from Maxima and Minima's C-143A to a photo of the Brentsey copter. "Apparently, one jet aeroplane is not sufficient, as Papa Max and son Brent have petitioned to have this extraordinary flying machine released back to Brent. The Brentsey copter, as it is called, was confiscated back on the 31st of December, and its unique nature was highly instrumental in the authorization of the search warrant of Brentsey's 13 Vulture Street police raid. The Brentsey copter is a dirigible, an aeroplane, and an ornithopter," she said, emphasizing "and an ornithopter," and I quote, "has bird-like wings that flap in order to provide propulsion, unlike a fixed-wing aircraft that relies on the differences in air pressure between the top versus bottom of an aircraft via the Bernoulli effect," end quote. We're told by the Air Force that the Brentsey copter is heavily armed and that Brentsey refused to land his ornithopter until threatened with mid-air destruction. The Air Force also reports that it was the ornithopter's illegal and lethal offensive weapons that resulted in his initial arrest. As Hannah continued speaking, the screen showed a quick clip of a street view of a luxurious gated community. Furthermore, it appears that a spacious rented home within the gated Waterbrook Downs community where the 3 Bs have been living is inadequate, as Mum and Pop B had the Dorothy, their Nordhaven 57 yacht, another luxurious transcontinental toy, set sail while they took to the skies. Hannah looked directly at the camera and blinked 4 times as the background scene behind her switched to a panning close-up along the length of their docked yacht. As you can see, their tiny 19-meter dinghy is now anchored at the port of Brisbane, and our confessor professor has subsequently petitioned the courts to allow him to stay aboard the Dorothy while he awaits his trial, something prosecutor Patsy Volpe insists may not occur as a charge against him is for attempted murder. Mama Minima proclaimed that her son is being severely mistreated, while matriarch Maxima alluded to son Brent having provided a $500,000 bond of his own money, which he added, and I quote, "The very idea of a Brentsey fleeing from the law is slanderous, especially since Brent here has 500,000 reasons to remain in Brisbane until he's acquitted of the ridiculous trumped-up charges against him," a statement that, so far at least, has not persuaded Judge Kamari Mitchell to change her mind. With the Doctor of Divinity's trial date set for the end of July, I'm certain we'll be hearing more from Brent along with Mama and Papa Brentsey. "Howard," she concluded, turning her head towards Howard Dillon and smiling. "Holy cow," Eddie said, shaking his head as he muted the telly. "Big B, are you available? Today's top news story was about Brentsey, and I thought we should discuss it with you, along with Karen and Paul and your friend Pilatray if he's awake. I'm not sure what time it is in France." "I absolutely am available," Big B replied. "Let me check on our friends and I'll connect everyone who's able to join us. Give me 3 minutes and we can all discuss your news," Z said before disconnecting.